The recent arrival of Comet Neowise has inspired tens of thousands to get into night sky watching. Over the past week, many people have asked me how they could spot the comet in the sky and how to take pictures of it. Perhaps I should make a video here to share my night sky photography experience with you all. In this video, I will show you an easy and cost-effective way in spotting the comet and other celestial objects in the night sky. Night sky watching and night sky photography are two different subjects. You may need a pair of binoculars or a telescope if you want to see the close-up view of a particular celestial object. But for night sky photography, most of the time, you don't need a telescope or binoculars. You don't even need a single lens refractor or so-called SLR camera. Yes, you can do it with a point-and-shoot camera or even your phone. It's no secret that the sensitivity of a camera's optical sensor is far more superior than the photoreceptors of our human eyes. So a camera can capture a lot more light, dim or bright, in a wide spectrum. This applies to all cameras, including your phones. You can use your phone to take pictures of the moon and time-lapse videos of sunrise and sunset. You can take pictures of bright stars such as Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, although they will only appear as bright dots in the photo. These are pretty much the capability of a standard phone camera because of its lens size and small aperture compared to other cameras. You can use it to take pictures of dimmer objects such as the Big Dipper, but you will need to mount it on a tripod and download a third-party camera app to allow picture taking with slow shutter speed or long exposure time. Long exposure time is essential in taking pictures of dim objects in the sky as it allows the camera to capture more light. Without it, your photo will appear dark and nothing much can be seen. But due to the limitation of the phone or phone app, it doesn't allow the camera to go below certain shutter speed. In the case of a dim object, such as Comet Neowise, yes, a dim object, although many have said that it's the brightest comet in the last 20 years, you can see it with your naked eyes, especially if you are not far away from the city lights. You will need an exposure time of at least 10 to 15 seconds to make the photo respectable. So, as a minimum requirement, a point-and-shoot camera and a tripod are the basic equipment you will need to have. It's not easy to locate Comet Neowise if you are not familiar with the sky and you don't have the exact coordinate of the object. This is more like doing a blind search in the sky. And unless you have experience using a telescope or binoculars, searching for a dim object in the sky with high-power optics is not an easy task. Before looking up into the sky, I would do two things first. Step 1. Download a sky map from the App Store. This helps you to locate the comet relative to your position in real time. You can match it with the estimated location of the comet published on your local paper. As of this week, the comet should be in the northwest direction, just to the left of the Big Dipper above the constellation Leo Minor. I found the best viewing time is between 45 minutes and 2 hours after sunset. If the comet is too dim to be seen with your eyes, I would proceed to step 2. Set up your point and shoot camera on a tripod. Point it to the direction where your local source suggests the comet is at and take a long exposure photo. Before taking the photo, you have to change the ISO to 800 or higher to increase the sensitivity. Then do a long exposure of at least 10 seconds with the lowest zoom power. You don't want to zoom in to any particular region before actually seeing the comet in your camera's field of view. A lower magnification allows the search window to go bigger. Now, when you look into the photo that you have just taken, you should be able to see a hazy object with a tail. That's Comet Neowise. You can match the bright stars or constellations around it with the ones on the sky map. You should be able to locate the comet in proximity to these bright stars. Once the comet is located, you can adjust the position of your camera and center the comet in the viewfinder to provide better focus for a close-up view, unless you can see the comet in your camera's viewfinder. I would stick with autofocus when taking the photos. Comets usually consist of a blue color iron tail and a yellow dust tail. The iron tail is harder to capture if the comet is not too bright. You really have to use a high ISO number and long exposure time to capture it. I would use ISO of 1200 or higher and an exposure time of between 10 and 15 seconds if you are mounting the camera on a tripod. As we all know, the Earth rotates on its axis. Its rotational axis almost coincides with Polaris or the North Star. The further away from Polaris, the faster the stars move. Since Comet Neowise is pretty far away from Polaris, we can't use an exposure time of longer than 15 seconds or the stars will appear as star trails. To cancel the effect of the Earth's rotation, astrophotographers normally use a special tripod called the equatorial mount. It consists of a rotational axis that is parallel to the rotational axis of the Earth, and it is often driven by a clock drive to synchronize with the Earth's rotational speed, so it rotates with the Earth in real time. In this case, a photographer can take pictures that require long exposure time of several minutes or even hours. This week, Comet Neowise will make its closest approach to Earth. It will put on a show in the night sky for another week until the full moon takes center stage. I hope we can find a place with clear sky and free of light pollution so we can all enjoy this beautiful firework of Comet Neowise brought to us from our wonderful Mother Nature.